Senator Jim Bunning, Republican of Kentucky, frequent guest on this program. Senator, I'm sure you were listening. You heard that this $15,000 tax credit for home buyers is out. What do you make of that? I'm astonished by it, frankly, Senator.
Well, I've got a spy inside the conference, so it isn't all out, but it's been cut in half. So it's $7,500. And the tax credit for the autos, I am not sure what happened to that. And I think all this, the pork barrel spending has been left in. The stimulus part, which I thought was the $15,000 tax credit for house buying and the money for auto buying, I thought that was more stimulant than anything else that we had in the bill.
Now, you've been a vocal opponent of the whole stimulus plan. I know that the Republicans have a plan of their own which focuses almost entirely on tax cuts. But let's suppose that do you think that when this passes, and it is going to pass, will it do more harm than good? Will it be a negative for the economy, do you think?
Well, rather than being a negative, will it help? And I personally do not think and see it helping us get out of this spiral of that we're in a down spiral as far as the economic outlook for the United States. So the question you ask, will it help? I don't think so. But will it stop the spiral? And that's more important to me, is to stop us going down. And I don't think it'll do that.
But it does saddle us with close to a $2 trillion deficit this year. That's the bill we've got to pay just down the road.
Well, according to the new Secretary of Treasury, that's just the beginning, the $2 trillion. He had proposed another $2 trillion in additional spending. He didn't outline what he was going to spend it on, but for banks, reorganizing what we called troubled banks, and also the toxic chemicals that are in our system, our financial system, are the bad things that we have had trouble, even with the TARP that we were supposed to remove, all the toxic assets, and we haven't touched them yet. We haven't even made an approach to doing anything about them.
Senator, we've had a flood of emails to this program, and in conversations with people all around the country, I'm beginning to see people who are genuinely worried about America's economic future. I mean, really, in the pit of their stomach, they're getting real worried. Are you?
Oh, I've been worried. I've been worried way before most of the people. I was worried when Greenspan was chairman. I became doubly worried when Bernanke took over. And now I asked the question yesterday to the new Secretary of the Treasury. Do you believe that the Federal Reserve is still an independent agency? And he said, absolutely. And I said, well, then tell me how you can account for the $2.3 trillion that the Fed has spent and there's been no accountability. None. No transparency. Come on, let's face up. The American people have lost confidence in the leadership of the Fed and of course, the leadership in the Congress of the United States, because we have not been straight with the American people.
I'm going to ask you about pork, because it occurs to me that pork works both ways. You oppose pork. You've been an outstanding guy who's saying, look, we really don't want this. But are you going to face some political trouble back in Kentucky, because you can't tell your voters that you brought home the bacon or the ham or whatever? You can't say that, because you voted against it.
Stuart, I've been voting no on those kind of things for so long that if the people of Kentucky don't know my stance on pork, they should by now. You know, I've been here 11 years, counting this year. Next year will be 12. I'm up for re-election in 2010. They ought to know that I stand for trying to protect their tax dollars. Not put their grandkids and kids in jeopardy paying our debts off.
Well said, sir. I've got children and grandchildren. I share your feelings. And by the way, sir, if there was a vote amongst our viewers, you'd be re-elected in a landslide. And we thank you very much for joining us yet again, Senator Jim Bunning, Kentucky.
Thank you,
Thanks, sir.
Stuart. Thanks a lot.